green, we sway with a beer in hand every day. From the tee to the hole, we're just trying to keep control. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise for the love of the game and the haze. A swing and a miss, oh what a sight. We laugh it off with delight. With each swig from the can, we're the best at this plan. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise for the love of the game and the haze. No matter the score, we're here for the fun, the sun, the laughs and the pun. So here's to good times and great friends we found in this game where we're barely out of bounds. So grab your clubs and enjoy your brew. We're here to make memories come true in the world of golf and beer. We're barely out of bounds. Cheers. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise.
And welcome back to another episode of Barely Out of Bounds. It's your boy Rico Daddy Slick here.
How did your crew not get out there? They're playing golf!
On the green, we sway with a beer in hand every day. From the tee to the hole, we're just trying to keep control. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise for the love of the game and the haze. For the love of the game and the haze.
I don't know if it's about a day class. I don't know.
Welcome to Beerly OB, the Beerly Out of Bounds podcast. I am your host, Zane Smith. Why does it say Jerry with a G Pollenwell?
Pallenwell. I don't know why it says that for you. That's
I don't
my
know
name.
either.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Zane. My
Nice
name's
to meet
Jerry.
you, Jerry. Nice to meet you,
My
Jerry.
name's Jerry with a G. Pallenwell. One of my
As
G's.
is my name.
Yeah,
His name was my name too.
yeah. I don't know why. I don't know
it's
why
all
they put us
good.
on the same show together.
I don't know, Jerry. Jerry, it's weird, Jerry.
I don't know why. So I used to have a J at the start of my name. It
Oh.
was stolen by U.S. Open champion J.J. Spawn.
Gotcha.
I don't even know why he's JJ. His name's John Michael.
He's just a jet plane.
And he stole my J. I had to replace it with a G. And here
JJ's
we
just
are.
a jet plane. JJ is a jet plane. That no one can stop that man.
But we're happy everyone's joining us here tonight. We're going to have a great episode talking a lot of golf. We have the Travelers going on right now. We're not going to talk much about that because we missed our original deadline of Wednesday due to personal reasons.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at
Zach was
personal.
too busy playing golf late in the day because it was beautiful outside. I get it. I get it. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I cannot blame.
Well, I don't know what Zach was doing. Jerry, I was a late addition to the show. Originally, it was supposed to be Burnt Curb broadcast tonight, but we went with they decided to call me in. Again, that's
Not
Jerry.
Curb Burr.
No, Burnt Curb.
Okay.
And they decided to call me in. So I'm happy to be here tonight. First time on Barely Out of Bounds. As I understand it, we actually do have a drinking part of this episode. Zane, do you have anything to drink tonight?
I do. So Beerly OB, as everybody knows in the audience, we do have this tradition where you must drink while you're on the pod. You must drink while you're on the pod. You don't have to get drunk, but you do have to drink.
But
And
I've heard getting drunk is encouraged. Is that true?
I don't know. Can we stop the bit? Like, it's cool within the first, minute, but it's 5 minutes in, and this sucks.
To be fair, the episode actually didn't start until 3 minutes in, so I've only been doing it for about 2.5 minutes at this point. Zane, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Smirnoff Ice Zero Sugar Raspberry. That I made that sound like there was a comma in between zero and sugar. It's zero sugar. I said that really weird. I said zero sugar raspberry instead of zero sugar raspberry. I don't know why I did that.
Sorry, I thought this was Beerly Out of Bounds, not Pussy Out of Bounds. Anyway, we're drinking a Heineken.
Wow, dropping it early. Okay,
We're drinking a Heineken tonight.
You know that YouTube has rules about that, like within the first 5 minutes or whatever. I don't know.
Exactly, we're 6:19 in, baby.
I don't know what the rules are, but
it's actually
it's
the
really
first minute.
early
It's
in the episode.
First minute or 90 seconds or something like that. But
I see you're doing
tonight.
Yeah, I see you're doing your.
It won the green bottle contest between it and Stella. Dos Equis was not a competitor, sadly, but Heineken ended up winning the green bottle contest, so we're drinking a Heineken.
Nice. How did it win it? Like, what was it? Was it full bodied? Did it hit the spot?
It just tastes better.
Just tastes better. Nice. That is why it would win a competition.
It's just, I don't know about what it is about Heineken. It just tastes good.
That is why
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So Zane, what's the first thing we're going to talk about tonight? JJ Spaun winning the U.S. Open.
We got to talk about that. That's got to be number one. So where were you when it happened? That's what we've got. That's what we're both going to talk about. Where were you when the music died? Where were you when the towers fell? When were you? I'm sorry. That's totally wrong. Where were you when it happened that JJ the jet plane took down Oakmont? Zach, where were you in it?
I was driving in the car on my way home from work.
Were you watching it?
No.
It was okay. I'll do this story then, I guess.
I watched a lot of the tournament. I just didn't watch that because
it was. So can I just say this? It was amazing. So I was giving Dad the play-by.
Everyone lives 5 minutes from their job.
We were driving back from you, obviously. We were driving back from playing golf with you at Georgia Club. By the way, thank you again for hosting us. You are a very courteous host. Zachary Smith, one of the best. Jerry with a G.
No, I'm back to Zach now.
Oh, he's back to Zach now. Okay,
yeah.
So Zach, very courteous host. He just doesn't want to give Jerry any credit. Very fine Jerry. Host there at the Georgia Club. They have amazing facilities for anybody that is wanting to be a member out there or knows somebody. It is a beautiful course, beautiful track. Zane sure had the rub of the greens that day, which was nice. And so we were playing. We were driving back, and obviously we left whenever they were on probably 13 or 14. Zach, I think probably about that. They were somewhere around there because of the delay, right? If there wasn't the delay, we were going to miss the whole thing. Right, so they got delayed. They sent them back out there after the rain. We were driving back from Statham, and I obviously had it on my phone because I'm in the passenger seat. Listen, Dad's driving, and Dad's asking me like, "Is there any way we can get this up on the screen in the truck?" Dad's telling me like, "Hey, is there any way?
Can you plug in the Chromecast to the
Can
screen
we get the
truck?
HDMI cable on this thing?"
That's so funny.
It was hilarious, and so I was like, "No, Dad, like, there's no way to do that. They don't. I'm pretty sure that's a safety feature they have in these things. You can't do that." Anyway, We were driving, and I'm just giving them updates. I'm like, and we were at each stoplight. I was like showing them, and we saw obviously the blow up by on 14 and 15. Or it was 15 by the leaders at the time, right? We were watching them blow up. Adam Scott. We were watching who was it? Right off the top of my head, I missed him.
Sam Burns.
We were watching him fall apart, hitting into the deep rough, especially on the par 3. Getting into trouble off the tee box, even on the 17th. that par 4, short par 4. And we were watching it happen. And I mean, I was like, we were just zoned in because obviously JJ, for those of you that don't know, I mean, this is one of those where it didn't come down to the final group. It didn't come down to the final group.
Mm-hmm.
They already played themselves out of it going into 18, right?
Yeah.
Because of their play on 15 and 16.
What did you think about that ruling for Sam Burns, the standing water ruling?
We'll talk about that here in a second. Let me finish my story. So, no, but good bringing that up. Didn't even think about talking about that before the show. Great to bring that up. What happened was, Zach, we were driving down, right?
Yeah.
And Victor Hovland JJ Spawn hit it on the green. Victor Hovland hit it just behind him. I'm like, oh my God, Dad. Victor Hovland's going to get a look at it before he putts it. Like, he's going to get a look at it before he hits this putt. And Dad was like, no way. And I showed him where, and I held the camera up and showed him where it was in relation to his ball. And obviously at the time, Robert McIntyre's, he's in the clubhouse. He's, I think, 1 over at that point, and JJ's even. So JJ needs to 2-putt to win.
Yeah.
Right? And we were like, that's locked up. He's going to 2-putt. He's going to win the U.S. Open. Back in America, well, not back in America hands because Bryson won it last year. But in America's hands, once again, same thing. We retained the U.S. Open, yada, yada, yada. We were cheering. And all of a sudden, I saw Victor Hovland hit his putt, almost makes it. And I told Dad, he's like, "Oh my God, he almost made it." It didn't make any bearing on the
Yeah,
final,
what would that have done?
It wouldn't have done anything. It wouldn't have done anything.
If you'd have made it, it would have gotten him to 1 over.
Yeah, but then JJ would have needed a 3-putt. I mean,
It's
either
a
way,
long
JJ
putt.
would have needed. Either way, JJ would have needed a 3-putt.
Well, yeah, but
And we've seen 3-putts before in a U.S. Open, namely Dustin Johnson and Jordan Spieth. So we've seen it happen. But here's the thing, right? He hits the putt, and I'm like, oh my God, like that looks so good. And I'm like, oh my God, and it goes in, and I swear to God, Dad can tell you this story. He swerved off the road. He almost swerved off the road because I went, yes! Like, I was like, yes! And I said, he did it. And my dad's like, no way. Because he had seen where it was.
yeah.
In relation to the hole, 65 feet away. And it was one of those magic moments. I remember having the same reaction to Gary Woodland at Pebble Beach. Do you remember that?
Yep.
I remember having that very same reaction. That really is so cool about major championships. The different feeling you get. It really is just a different feeling. And again, it was the same. It'd be the same even if it wasn't American. Like, even if it wasn't JJ that had done it, I think it would have still been cool, a spectacle to see that happen for somebody else. But like, I was kind of pumped for Adam Scott being like the second oldest U.S. Open champion if he had won it.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty neat. But yeah, I mean, it was amazing. Anyway, what did you think of the final putt, Zach? What did you think of the putt?
So obviously, I didn't watch it live. Going back and watching it, I mean, like, that's a heck of a putt, dude. That is one heck of a putt.
Absolutely.
Those greens were tough. I know after the rain, they probably weren't rolling as fast as they had been all week, but still, I mean, to clutch up like that, because all he had to do was 2-putt, and he's won the U.S. Open.
Yep.
So I think the fact he even got to the hole is kind of incredible. That he went and hit it hard enough to get it to the hole. But yeah, it was an insane putt.
So good.
Over 60 feet away.
So is Zachary buying a lab putter now? Is that what Zach is investing in?
No, I'd have to sell everything I own to buy one of those. So I think I'm good.
They are expensive, dude. They are crazy expensive. What do you think about the lab putters before we go on to that ruling?
I tell almost everyone this when they ask me my opinion on lab putters, and it happens more often than you'd think. Because, I'm a professional at the club, and people ask for my opinion on equipment and stuff like that. And I've gotten a lot lately about lab. Do I think it's worth it? And I was like, well, I mean, it kind of depends. Like, Is it a really good putter? Obviously, yes. Right? If it didn't work, it wouldn't sell. And if it didn't work for some people, it wouldn't sell. If JJ Spawn didn't feel like it gave him the best chance to win the U.S. Open, he wouldn't have it in the bag. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then I tell people, like, well, what are you looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you want to spend $600, $700, sometimes $800 on a putter that, I mean,
may or may not work?
May or may not work. And then not only that, even if it does work, when you're at the current level of like the 10, 11 handicapper that's asking me, there's probably something else going on in your putting stroke that's affecting you.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's
Very
not
true.
going to solve all your problems. Like it's not like the cure to bad putts.
Sure. I believe wholeheartedly in putter fittings. After fitting myself for a putter for the very first time on a sand putt lab 3 years ago, I'd never gone through an actual putter fitting before. We had gotten the sick putter lab. We have gotten the sick putters. We've been able to sell those sick putters at Chicopee, and those were amazing. I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think, and I hope to do that again. Sick putters are great putters, and they do fit most strokes because of their variable face. Variable loft face.
That's why I like them so much.
However, putter fittings are so good for the average golfer. I noticed a significant improvement to my lag putting after doing putter fitting. Because you can control you fit the loft to your stroke, and what that does for you as the golfer is that gets the ball rolling pure every time, as opposed to hitting off the top, sometimes hitting off the bottom, sometimes whichever one you present it to consistently. Yeah. Now, obviously, that requires a consistent stroke, but if you've been playing golf for a long enough time, you probably already have a relatively consistent stroke. Yeah. And so that's the thing is like I always tell people putter fittings are in my book if you want to be somebody shooting, low 70s.
Zane, how about this?
I think they're mandatory.
Video idea. How about you give me a fitting?
I like that. I like that video idea.
Okay.
I mean, you can always come for a fitting even if it's not for a video.
I probably would do it for a video, but
let's do it for a video.
Okay.
You can put it on teed off or whatever.
I'm thinking about changing the name, by the way. But
okay.
It's the first time.
Yeah, it is the first time. You're right.
It's the first time.
The
problem is teed off's already. There's so many things called teed off golf.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyway,
let's just do ZS golf again, bud. Bring it back.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Smith Bros Golf will compete with the Bryan Bros. We'll do a 2v2 match against them.
Or just ZS Golf.
We'll do a 2v2 match against the Bryan Bros. Do you think we'd win?
No. No, because there's literally a PGA Tour player on that other
Not
team.
literally. He's not. He's a former PGA Tour
okay.
player.
He's that caliber.
That's one of the best memes on golf YouTube right now. They'll introduce people in a video with the Bryan brothers, and they'll say not banned from the PGA Tour next to everybody. Mm-hmm. And then when they introduce them, they say banned from the PGA Tour.
It is kind of funny.
That's a good gag.
It is a pretty good gag. But anyway, yeah, that's
my thought on lab putters. They're good putters, I think, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it's not the end all be all. It depends on what you want.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Or what you're looking for results wise out of a putter.
Yes.
And do you think that this putter will give you $600, $700, $800 worth of results? Because if not,
depends on how much $600 means to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, is your $600 the same as my $50? If that's the case, then do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go crazy, dude.
with you. I'm with you wholeheartedly on that. So, yeah, we can definitely do that. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you wholeheartedly on that. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you wholeheartedly on that. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you wholeheartedly on that. I'm with you. I'm with you wholeheartedly on that. Yeah. But yeah, I do think putter fittings are legit. I think you need to get putter fitted, especially when it comes to not just. I know we talked about loft, lie, making sure that you have the right amount of toe hang. Really helps you deliver that putter square every time. And so yeah, that's just that's my last say on the matter. What were you gonna say? I just saw you open your mouth. Nothing. All right, perfect. So let's go on to the ruling. The ruling that everybody's talking about, and I'm sure we're going to have clips about going out on social media. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Because we may disagree, me and you.
Okay.
All right. So here was the thing. So let's go ahead and share the screen here real quick for everybody watching. This was the shot heard around the world, quite literally. All right. So Sam Burns did not get relief from casual water after consulting with 2 different rules officials. He wasn't happy after his shot. Let's go ahead and check it out. That's a lot of mud. Let's watch it one more time. We're going to just, if we can, slow down the playback speed. There we go. That's a lot of mud. That's a lot of mud. All right. Zach, any initial thoughts before we move on?
I honestly, I want to hear your take on it because I'm curious.
I wanted to show this too, just to preface it. Ready? So we're going to go ahead and share this tab. Here we go. This is the lie Sam Burns just had to hit out of the U.S. Open. That screams relief for me.
That is a lot of water.
Okay.
If that was the case, so again, this is a big if for me. If that's the case, he deserved relief.
Yeah.
If
so
that's
the two things about this. Okay. So you're 100% right. If that's the case, he 100% deserved relief. What makes me think it might be the case is that when you saw him hit that ball, you said, that's a lot of mud. Brother, I ain't never seen clear mud. That's water.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
That's
I didn't mean mud like mud. I meant like that's a lot of stuff flying.
Yeah.
For that to be,
I mean, it looked like the same amount of water that if I just was in the middle of a puddle and I was trying to clip a ball.
That's exactly right. Now, here's the thing. Let's go ahead. Well, we won't. We'll do that at the end. There's a little gag I want to show. So, but anyway, so the big thing is Zach, wrong one. So if that is the case, what do you think? What do you think they should have done? I do find it hard to believe. Can I just say this? I do find it hard to believe that 2 rules officials saw that and didn't give the man relief.
I find it hard to believe, but not impossible.
That's hard to believe.
Listen, we're not talking about Xander Schauffele. We're talking about Sam Burns.
I find it hard to believe, dude. I find it hard to believe that a guy in the last group, Sam Burns, who's not no name. He's not a no name.
He's not a no name, but he's.
It's hard to believe for me, and he's an American. It's hard to believe that USGA rules officials would not give him that drop if that in fact was his lie. I think possibly, hear me out. And this is I'm gonna sound two-tongued. I'm gonna sound like I have both opinions. I promise you I don't. I've got a opinion for if one is the case and an opinion for if the other is the case. If it is the case that video is true, then those rules officials should never be rules officials ever again.
That is horrible.
That's the gross brutal call in all of golf. How are you going to make a guy play from standing water? That's
it's literally hitting out of a puddle. Just because there's grass there doesn't mean it's not a puddle.
And I saw people saying, don't hit it there. It's in the fairway. What do you mean don't hit it there?
Fairways are hard enough to hit. If you start taking it down to after they got a downpour
Yeah.
No, you just don't hit it in any of the low areas in the fairway where
Yeah.
your ball is going to congregate.
Yeah. Yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get that argument. However, if it is the case, listen, if it is the case that you had to press because Zach knows this from tournaments. If it is the case where the water was not visible unless you had to press down with your foot, that's the rules of golf, baby. So that's where it might sound like I'm two-tongued. And I'm not. If it's the case, so and those of you know I'm right. Those of you who have played in tournaments know I'm right.
Yeah.
If you have to press down to get that water to come up,
It's not standing water.
it's not standing water, and you do not get relief. So that's kind of where I'm at, where it makes it hard to believe for me that both rules officials saw something like we just saw and said, eh. That's what makes it hard for me. Anyways, what are
I
your thoughts?
mean, what was the name of that account that tweeted that? Because that's the video I saw.
Flushing it.
Flushing it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're relatively reliable.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I mean they don't put out false stuff often at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, I tend to believe them. And then also based off of the amount of water I saw come up
Yep.
when he hit that shot, that also makes me tend to believe that that was the lie he was playing from. Because that's a significant amount of water.
Mm-hmm.
Like, on the shot, that's a significant amount of water. And then coupled with the fact that, like, you can see that just below the tops of the blades of grass is, like, flat water surface.
Yep.
Like, when he's stepping, you can see the water hit water.
Yep. That's absolutely right.
Like, the divot instantly fills into a puddle by the time he's hit the shot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like...
So let's hear Burns talk about it. This is Burns commenting on the controversial decision to not give him casual water relief.
You know, when I walked into it, clearly could see water coming up. And took practice swings, and it's just, you know, water splashing every single time. Called a rules official over. They disagreed. I looked at it again. I thought maybe I should get a second opinion. And that rules official also disagreed. So at the end of the day, I mean, you know, it's not up to me. It's up to the rules official, and that's kind of that.
Unfortunately, were you in a divot there in the fairway?
I was, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it made tough breaks, but did you feel like nothing, you couldn't catch one?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's part of it. I was in the divot on 11 as well. It's part of it. You know, it happens. So you play enough golf. You know, you hit
Get rid of that
divots
rule.
and
Get rid of that rule. Get rid of the rule. Get rid of the rule.
Huh?
Get rid of the rule. Get rid of the rule.
Get rid of the rule what?
Or add a different rule. You should, if you hit
About
the
divots?
fairway, you should not be playing. You should not be penalized for hitting the fairway.
I've gone back and forth on that one.
Should not be penalized for hitting it in the fairway.
I agree with you. I think
Especially, here's my thing. When this course incentivizes players to not swing hard and hit the fairway, that's the whole incentivization. The rough is so penalizing.
incentivization.
That's the whole incentive. You cannot hit the green if you're in the rough, right?
Yeah.
It's nearly impossible for you to hit the green if you're in the rough.
Yeah.
So play it back, play it safe, keep it in the middle, and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but in round 4, there's going to be a lot of people who have played to the same spots that you're playing to,
Sure.
and there's a lot of divots in the fairway.
I
So
agree.
now it's barely an advantage to hit it in the fairway.
I agree with you.
When especially by day 4 of a tournament, the number of divots in that fairway are going to be a lot,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the landing zones of
Yeah.
where you're supposed to hit it.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I've always advocated for, you know, if you don't fix the rule, you have to mandate that the sand is filled to the way above
the thing.
above it, yeah,
So that your
Yeah.
ball has a chance to roll out of the divot
or off of it,
or
yeah.
off of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that I think has to happen. So I agree with you. Yeah, I thought you were going to have that take.
You thought I wasn't going to have that take?
I thought you were going to say, "Oh, suck it up, Sam Burns."
No, I've been consistent on this.
Okay, no, I don't mean about the divots. I just mean about the suck it up Sam.
Oh
Burns.
no! With the water thing, that was horrible. That was a
Yeah,
horrible call.
it was pretty wild.
Because I saw the shot and I was like, they talked about how he didn't get relief, and I was like, that's kind of crazy. That's a lot of water. And then I saw the video from Flushing it of the guy stepping where Sam Burns played from, and I was like, that's insane.
Yeah.
How is that not standing water?
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. All right. So real quick, let's go ahead and show the winning putt before we move on. This was outstanding. By the way, this also, following up that shot, I mean, it really was the beginning of the fall for Burns.
Yeah.
It really was. If you watch the tournament, that was the beginning of it. Let's go ahead and watch this. This was Sam Burns from that area in the rough. Let's go ahead and hear this. I don't know, with that big of a swing, look how short he leaves it.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of the downfall for Sam Burns. So at that point, you can see the leaderboard there on the right says +1. They're all tied.
Yeah.
He would go on to double bogey the hole.
And move him out of contention.
That's exactly right. So, I mean,
you can make a couple birdies on that course, but you ain't making a ton.
Nope. Also, Hatton, Terrell Hatton had a big issue coming down the stretch as well. Let's go ahead and watch this. This is another great one to show. Here we go. So this is Terrell Hatton. He didn't roll down into the bunker like he had wanted, obviously because of the thick rough. Again, this all happens around the same time. He's a fiery fella. So, I mean, this was happening all around the course. Adam Scott with the same thing. I mean, we could keep going on and on with these shots. However, this was the winning putt. Let's go ahead and watch this real quick. This was one of the coolest moments. This is every single angle. Let's go ahead and watch this real quick. Every single angle of the winning putt. And we'll just talk about it while it plays.
Don't need to make it. 2 putts.
Overhead cam view here. And oh, he made the freaking putt. Oh, John Michael Spawn. What a guy. And he is now not only a major champion, but a U.S. I will always
remember
Sundays in U.S. Open history. The stuff you dream about.
So I will always remember.
You need 2 putts. You get a nice teach by Hovland.
Need only 1,
and you watch it disappear.
How about 1? Is what he says. How about 1? I'll always remember that.
Shout out to Strickson.
And you do a little dance in the rain with your cat. Father's Day indeed. I think Josh Gregory's.
And that's his 2 coaches right there, by the way. But I mean, it was absolutely incredible. I mean, my jaw hit the floor when he made that. The only regret I have is that I would have loved to watch that whole thing on a big screen. That's my only regret with that.
You'd have thrown something, dude.
Yeah, I would have broken another wall. I would have put another hole through the drywall because that was just incredible. And it's so great getting back to that time where, and I hope we are getting back to that time where Americans root for Americans in the U.S. Open and the majors. Like, I'm sorry. I'm America first. United States of America, baby. So, even though, Adam Scott.
I root for the guys I know.
I root for the U.S. I root for the Americans, baby.
I want to be honest.
American.
I was rooting for Adam Scott.
Get out of here. He's just trying to be antagonistic.
No, I was rooting for Adam Scott. I thought
I
it
ain't
would
gonna,
be cool.
I ain't gonna let it harsh my scope. I'm not gonna let it harsh my stoke.
What the hell does that even mean?
Harsh your stoke, like you're stoked up for something, like you're not gonna harsh my vibe, you know?
You and Dad have been saying that nonstop. I don't know where you got it from. But y'all
Dad
need
got
to
it.
stop.
Dad got it from this guy. Is like the surfer guy on he has like an Instagram or whatever, and he's like the stoke of the dog. Like, look at my dog's stoke. Like, don't mess with my dog's stoke. You know, he's not worried about where to go or what to do. He's like, I'm just gonna sniff some.
If y'all
butts.
say
He
my
wants to-
references are weird,
It's a weird reference, but it is funny. So anyway, so that was the U.S. Open. It was amazing, obviously, and you also had this too. I just wanted to play.
Zane,
this.
how'd your pick'em do for the U.S. Open?
Not great. Shut up. I'm gonna have to do a shot tonight. Thank you for reminding me. You suck. I'm gonna have to do 2 actually because of Shane effing Lowry.
Yeah, you are.
All right, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna share my screen here. This is Robert McIntyre he's at the scorer's table, right? Let's go ahead and watch his reaction.
Side of it. Pretty good sportsmanship there.
And that
Robert McIntyre. Wow.
can I just say that is right there. That is.
Did you see Terrell Hatton? He's getting interviewed with.
Yeah. Oh, I have that video. Can we watch that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's watch
Oh,
that.
he's hold it.
Oh, he's hoed it. That was the funniest
That's
thing.
incredible.
It's incredible. I don't have it. I don't have it. Zach, please find it. Please find it for us. Please find it for us. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, Terrell Hatton watches in disbelief. I do have it. I knew I had it. I knew it. I knew I had Terrell. Let's watch it.
I sat in dining. Oh, he's hold it. Unbelievable. What a putt to win. That's incredible.
You know what? I have a controversial Terrell Hatton take.
What's your controversial Terrell Hatton?
My controversial Terrell Hatton take is that the only person Terrell Hatton hates is himself when he golfs. And so
That's 100% accurate, though. That's not even.
I think he's actually a really nice guy.
Oh yeah,
He just hates himself when he.
that's
plays
100. No, yeah, he's just a maniac, but he loves everybody. Yeah, he's like that guy that's like throwing clubs in trees, and he's like, "Hey, man, haven't seen you in a while. What's up?
You guys want to play golf tomorrow?
Yeah, you guys want to go hit the course? I'm good, man. I don't really want to see that. You know."
I don't know. I play disc golf.
100% true.
I play disc golf with Lincoln all the time.
Dude, Terrell Hatton is Lincoln. Lincoln Griffin. If you're watching this, please flip this up and send this to Lincoln. You're Terrell Hatton, and we love you for it. You know, you're a genuine dude, and everybody
genuinely
loves that.
nice guy.
Oh, you're just a genuine guy.
Hates himself when he plays disc golf.
And that's the thing is, obviously, Dad hates Terrell Hatton because of how he acts on the golf course. Here's the issue: is Terrell Hatton isn't a poser. Like, he knows who he is, and he's genuine about that.
Yeah.
Whereas you guys got like the Rorys in there, where everybody now is just waking up to the fact Rory may not be all with it. You know, it's just so
may
funny.
not be the nicest guy in the world.
He may not be the nicest guy. You know, you hear Jim Nantz go, "Well, Rory's been a little bit weird lately." It's like, nah, that's
You
kind of
guys-
how he's always been.
We're just you're listen. You've just been awoken. Welcome to the real world.
That's right.
I've been living in it
Yeah.
for years.
You were in the Matrix. Yeah, it's nuts hearing all those cheerleaders. Once cheerleaders like Dan Rappaport finally
Wow, he's
saying
actually kind of funny.
he's kind of actually a jerk, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of Dan Rappaport, I want you to watch the most ungenuine reaction ever. Like,
No, I have a
don't
take
think-
on this.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Well, let's watch it. Let's watch it because it was interesting. Here it is. Let's go ahead and watch it. Ah, crap. I pressed the wrong button. All right, you ready? Let's go here. This was on, obviously, Scratch, where Dan is. Dan Rappaport reacts to the huge birdie on 18.
All right, JJ, this is what you've been practicing for your entire life. Can he two-putt from 60 feet to win the U.S. Open? It goes down one ridge. It goes over the other. This looks like perfect speed. He's made it, JJ Spawn. What a way to finish. The U.S. Open champion is under par. Oh, my gosh. 60 feet on the last. That's an all-timer. That is an all-timer. Only one man finishes under par. It's JJ Spawn. He was 150 to 1 to win this week, and there's your champion, JJ Spawn. He's the U.S. Open winner. I have goosebumps. This guy was 5 over par through his first 6 holes today.
Yeah.
Birdie's the last 2 holes. He's in tears. This is a dream come true that I never saw coming. I don't think any of us saw coming. Oh my God, he's overcome with emotion. If that doesn't fill your heart,
Okay,
I got a different sport that you need to watch.
Just stop it.
Because
Just
that
stop.
is the United States Open right there. Oh my goodness, you guys.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Here's the thing. This
The comments will disagree with you, by the way.
people like this.
No, people did not like this.
Okay, good.
People thought this was kind of cringe.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. Listen.
Pretty cringe.
If it doesn't work out in the golf space for Dan Rappaport, he can always have a chance as a Mickey Mouse voice actor.
Oh no, Mr. Bill! It literally sounded like Michael talking about Mr. Bill.
So this is my thing. This
In
is
the
why
office, for those of you that...
this is like reaction streams, especially when you're talking about sporting events, aren't good if you're not built for it.
I don't even know where we're going with this, but carry on.
So, like, if you have a good announcer voice, you could make that work. You know?
Oh, I agree. No.
If you have the right voice,
are
can
you
make
saying that
work.
this kind of content is ridiculous?
This kind of content is dog shit.
Yeah, it's just horrible. I agree. Yeah,
it's dog shit. I don't know why anyone would watch Dan Rappaport reacting to the U.S. Open, the end of the U.S. Open. I don't know why they'd watch Dan Rappaport react to anything outside of his podcast.
Yeah, I'm not saying Dan Rappaport is necessarily a terrible, journalist, golf journalist, but I do think that this kind of stuff is just.
Oh my gosh! Oh.
I probably would never do this content, like reaction stuff. So
I wouldn't.
But the thing is like I'm pretty sure I could have done a better job with that. And be a little bit more. And again, you should see the comments. The comments are basically saying like, "This is the most, like, that's a genuine reaction." Like people were thinking that this was like playback, like he had played it back and then done.
No
idea.
This was live, but
how do you know?
I'm pretty sure it was live. I think it was on a live stream because I saw him do this at I think the Masters.
Oh, he did a live stream.
He live streams himself. He can't put the video on screen. Just himself watching the Masters or the U.S. Open.
So bad though.
I believe I can double check that. I don't know where I would double check it.
That is so bad though.
He's probably scrubbed all evidence of that video because of how much he's getting canned for it. But like, I'm pretty sure he did this for the Masters because he had a similar reaction for. No, he didn't do it for the Masters because he was there. Let me see.
I just know it wasn't very good.
Yes, he has a watch along stream that he does. He does watch along streams. The couple that I can see here, he has the Valero Texas Open live watch along. He does this for every event.
What is the PGA Tour doing? By the way, they're paying scratch for him. By the way, just letting you know.
Yeah, I know.
We know that they bought a stake in scratch.
He must have scrubbed that video because it's not on here anymore.
Okay, well, it's done.
He definitely scrubbed it.
So that's all I was saying. Is it doesn't seem like a genuine reaction. It looks forced. Like I know whenever I reacted to it, it was way louder than that, and maybe he's trying to be more quiet for the microphone. But it sounds weird. It just sounds weird. and how he has to describe. And here's the thing: he thinks he's on. It almost sounds like he thinks he's on radio, where he has to describe everything that's going on.
It's a watch along.
Yeah, if they're watching it along with you, why do you need to describe exactly what's going on at that given moment? I don't understand. I don't understand that. And if it's a radio show, I kind of get it. Not kind of get it.
If you're doing a watch along, your job is to do like color commentary.
Yeah. Like, did you know this guy did this week?
Yeah.
And that's really, you can see how much better he's playing.
I might do content like this if I was talking about like live betting as well.
Sure. Like, what are the odds on this happening?
No. I'm saying like if I had, so for instance, if I had like, if me and you were betting on a tournament and we had basically like two guys, we each had two guys, all four of them in the top 10, doing something like that. And then you have the back and forth of like, oh, my guy just birdied. Oh, your guy just bogeyed, blah, 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 blah. I could see that working, but like Dan Rappaport's not enough of an interesting character for me to want to watch him react to a golf tournament.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I just don't think it's very good.
They don't even get views.
Based
off of the ones I can see.
That's fair. Okay. Anyway, so that was pretty much it. That's pretty much all I got. By the way, the other cool thing was that drive into 17. For those of you that want to go back and watch JJ Spawn, that drive into 17 was literally a perfect golf shot. I mean, that was the shot of the tournament, in my opinion, other than the putt he made on the last hole. That would have been the shot of the tournament had he not sunk the 65-footer. But go back and watch that drive. It was just amazing. And he hits those beautiful cuts off the tee. It is gorgeous. It makes me want to just not hit nothing but a cut the rest of my life. Anyway, so let's move on, okay? Because we're getting into, 45-minute territory? Yes, we are. So let's go ahead into Travelers, what people are saying at the Travelers Championship, what people are doing at the Travelers Championship at their press conferences, even though we're not going to be talking about the Travelers itself this week. We will be going back. Next week, we'll be gearing back up into doing the betting, stuff like that. I will do my shots at the end of the episode. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so here is Rory McIlroy explaining the U.S. Open and what he's where his headspace is at. Let's go ahead and listen in.
Yeah, I alluded to it in my pre-tournament press conference. You don't really know how it's going to affect you. You don't know how you're going to react to such a I wouldn't say a life-altering occasion, but at least something that I've dreamt about for a long time. And yeah, I've alluded to the fact that I have felt a little flat on the golf course afterwards.
You did show great fight yesterday. You were 8 over par after 3 holes of round 2. You could have easily kind of said this is Oakmont, this is so tough, but you fought back 2 under for the last 15, not just to make the cut, but to give yourself a half shot. Yeah,
it's funny. It's much easier being on the cut line when you don't really care if you're here for the weekend or not. I was sort of thinking, do I really want 2 more days here or not? So it makes it easier to play better when you're in that mindset.
I just want to point out this is the thing that everybody was bashing Liv about, was the fact that that they don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know, a bit weird.
Well, I mean, listen, Zane, we said it right after the Masters, right before the Masters, about Rory. How he doesn't love golf.
Yeah, it just remains true.
It's just his job.
It's just proving.
He wants to extract all the value he can out of the game and then leave in his early 40s and leave the game behind. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't quit already. I'm going to be frank.
After winning the Masters?
He has enough money.
Yeah.
And it just makes me think.
Quit, just do TGL.
No, it'd be hilarious if you just jumped ship and went live, honestly. That would be hilarious. I would not
be the most surprising thing.
It wouldn't be the most surprising thing. And then we got this. So let's go ahead and pull this up. This is what happened. This is Wyndham Clark. This is Wyndham Clark.
This is
breaking
Wyndham
a
Clark.
sign at, I believe it was the PGA Championship, or was it the Memorial?
I'm not sure which it was.
I think it,
T-Mobile sponsors a couple of cool guys. One of them, I believe, being Max Homa, and the other, I believe, being Wyndham Clark.
yeah. And you just put
put a hole through their sign.
Almost hit a volunteer.
Yeah.
And then we have this, Zach. And this was confirmed by Smiley Kaufman.
Mm-hmm.
Wyndham Clark destroyed 2 of the lockers at Oakmont.
That's crazy.
This would be insane if it wasn't Oakmont.
Yeah.
This would be insane if it was Bay Hill.
Yeah.
This should result in the automatic disqualification for Wyndham Clark and the revocation of his PGA Tour card for the season.
Whoa. But Zane, listen, it's not as bad as playing.
No. Huh?
It's not as bad as playing in a YouTube video with a bunch of live golfers.
Yeah. This is, I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. This is, what kind of precedent is the USGA and the PGA Tour setting by not
doing
anything about it? I haven't even heard. Have you heard about a fine?
No.
Have you heard about a fine? I haven't heard about a fine. I haven't heard about an indefinite suspension or a definite suspension.
Like, this is clearly a reoccurring issue with him. So
yes. And this cannot continue. Because what if another guy does it? Well, they can point at this and go, that's not fair. He didn't get hit. He didn't get hit with fines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just really stupid. Just really dumb. And at the end of the day, this is going to come back to bite them in the ass. I mean, this is going to come back to really bite them.
There are a bunch of jokes about Wyndham Clark being banned from Oakmont, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Oakmont was like,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either, honestly.
don't come back, please.
I wouldn't be surprised. I saw some false reports that he was banned from Oakmont.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. It was just memes, but
yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked if Oakmont was like, yeah, that's not.
So this was him at the Travelers. And you know how we've been talking about, and this is where we're probably going to end unless you want to talk about.
Well, we got
to
talk about this Satan himself dying.
Yeah, got to talk about
his
the
power,
snake,
his hold over
Slytherin
there.
Snake. What's up, buddy? We got to talk about the Slytherin snake. So Wyndham Clark was at the Travelers, and obviously, because this news broke, he's going to be asked about this.
Yeah.
Right? He's got to be asked about this, and this was his answer, Zach. Let's go ahead and listen.
You know, I've had a lot of highs and lows in my career, especially this year, some lows. And, you know, I made a mistake that I deeply regret, and I'm very sorry for what happened. But I'd also like to move on, not only for myself, but for Oakmont, for the USGA, and kind of focus on the rest of this year. And
I bet you would,
I still want
dude.
to try to make the Ryder Cup team. I'm on the outside looking in for the FedEx Cup, and so I'm starting to move on and focus on those things.
Kick him out of the FedEx Cup for this season. Dude. I'm sorry. Can I just say this real quick before you say something? Actually, no, Zach, go in. Like, I've been talking.
Dude, it can't just be like, oh, you know, I've had a rough year. I made a mistake and I'm really sorry about it. Like, how many times can you say that before it's like, I don't think you're sorry. I think you just lash out and do shit and then expect everyone to forgive you because you won a U.S. Open at the worst venue we've had in 40 years. Like, I don't know what to tell. Like, I am Wyndham Clark. He's reaching Rory status for me. And it's hard to do that, but he's reaching Rory status in terms of golfers that I majorly dislike.
What do you mean reaching it? That is it.
He's not quite there yet.
No, he's there.
He's not quite there yet for me.
He's there, dog.
He's a half a step below.
No, he's there. He's above.
I
Roy
don't
for
think
me.
you realize that I just like Roy. I don't hate anybody except Roy McIlroy. Actually,
This guy
Roy
does it for me.
McIlroy and Jay Monahan, the two people I hate.
This guy does it for me. So here's the deal, right? You've got a
This guy does it
guy.
for you?
You've got a guy who made it into the thing because of all this live stuff going on. He made it into where he's at, into all these signature events, into where he's at because they didn't have the signature events, the no cut events or whatever. Then immediately calling after he gets in, calling for those no cut events, limited field sizes, all that.
Yeah.
Right, which kicks out all those guys that he used to be trying to get into these events. Right. Then you have him, experiencing kind of a downfall, a little sag, there in this
Decline
year.
in the game.
And he can't find his game. And he's starting to really kind of skid. It's amazing.
Do you think it's fear?
It's amazing.
Because he's advocated against the way he's playing now.
Yes.
Being allowed to play in a lot of PGA Tour events.
Yes. It's a fear of continuing his lifestyle the way he is. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree that's probably plays a pretty big role. And it would in any normal human being. The only issue is like you can't act like this.
Yeah.
And PGA Tour and USGA need to set a precedent for this kind of behavior. This cannot be tolerated. This cannot be tolerated. You cannot allow
golf
this
is
guy
a
to do that.
Game, not for the likes of you.
Okay, quick quoting it. Anyway, this is something where you can't do this crap. Let me show that picture again. This, just so people are aware, these lockers are 100 years old, right? They're so old. They're as old as they're probably as old as Oakmont itself. Maybe not quite, but they're really old. And now Oakmont is going to have to refurbish and replace these lockers, right?
I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the member locker room as well?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
This man deserves punishment. Not just any punishment. He deserves punishment of the highest order.
You think after breaking the first one, he would be like, "Oh shit, this is easier to break than I thought," and then stop.
Yeah.
And no, he just went for number 2.
That's right. I mean, this shows a completely unremorseful man. Did you hear it? Let's listen to that. Let's listen to it one more time.
I want to move on for everybody. No, you want to move on for your
let's
rest.
listen to it one more time.
Highs and
Listen.
lows in my career,
I just want you to listen to the way he phrases it.
And, I made a mistake that I deeply regret, and I'm very sorry for what happened.
Very sorry for what happened. Not, I'm sorry for what I did. Very sorry for what happened. It just happened. It wasn't me who did it.
Maybe he's schizophrenic. You don't know, man.
But I'd also like to move on.
He'd also like to move on.
I bet you would.
This is a man who is unremorseful. See, if that were me and I had done it, because everybody has lashing out. Everybody does. Everybody.
But not you, Zane.
Yeah, of course not. But everybody lashes out. Zach's been possessed by demons from time to time.
Never.
If you were experienced by that, what you do is you apologize. You say, "I'm sorry. I acted stupid." And on top of that, whenever you're getting paid and you got this much money, Wyndham Clark's got a lot of dough, by the way.
Yeah.
Whenever you're making this much money, you say, "Hey, I talked with the members association there at Oakmont. I am paying for the refurbishment of the thing. Just wanted to let everybody know that I am deeply sorry for what I did. It shouldn't happen. It won't happen again."
Yeah.
But instead, it's, "I want to move on for the USGA's sake."
Yeah. Not for your sake and
for the USGA's
you're
sake.
Continually crumbling.
Yeah, because the USGA is going to be embarrassed by this. It was a player. The USGA is not embarrassed by this. They're
anything,
embarrassed
the
about
PGA
you.
Tour is embarrassed.
Yeah, if anything, the PGA Tour is embarrassed that you're acting the way you're acting at a effing major.
On a consistent basis.
Yeah, on a consistent basis too. So, anyway, Zach, do you want to pull up that?
Let's talk about Satan himself. You know him, you love him. It's Jay Monahan. So, big news. Jay Monahan will be leaving the PGA Tour next year after a decade that ends with the sport fractured by the Saudi riches of LIV Golf. He turns it over to top NFL executive Brian Rolapp in a new role as CEO that Rolapp sees as rife with commercial growth.
How do you feel about an NFL guy going in there?
I love it.
You really?
Yes. And you want to know why?
Why? You know anything about Rolapp?
No. But I know a lot about the NFL. And I know that in terms of a product, it's probably the best major professional sports organization.
Yes, they did have that little thing a few years ago where they almost tanked their own product.
Yeah. But
So was he a part of that at all?
I could look it up.
Why don't we?
I know he was seen as a successor to Goodell for a while.
Okay. Like people wanting him in there as opposed to Goodell or what?
He was just seen as like Goodell. He was going to be the next guy.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, why don't you look up that real quick?
Brian Rolapp. Markets. He had joined NBC Universal as Director of Business Development in New York City. His concentration included NBC's cable. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't like NBC Universal. I don't like that tie. Anything else? Anything else there, Brian Rolapp?
His title was changed 3 years. Rolapp moved to the NFL Network in 2003, where he became the Director of Finance and Strategy. In 2005, he was promoted to Vice President of Media, Strategy, and Digital Media. In 2007, his title was changed to Senior Vice President. He was promoted to COO of NFL Media in 2011, and in 2014 became the Executive Vice President of NFL Media and the CEO President of NFL Network. So he's clearly good at his job. He moved through it pretty quick. I mean, in 9 years, he went from the Vice President of Media Strategy to the CEO of NFL Network.
Maybe. I've come to find that even in corporate networks like that, they can move up regardless of whether they're effective or not.
In 9 years, though?
Yeah. Yeah. There's sociopaths out there. You know that as well as I do, by the way. Like, I'm not breaking any news when I say that. So.
It doesn't talk a lot about his time at NBC Universal.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll move on. But
I think it could be
you're
really
excited,
good.
Obviously, you're excited. Obviously,
I listen. As long as Satan is dead, I'm a happy man. I don't want. Listen, what did I say 3 weeks ago?
You know what they say about Satan? You know what they say about Satan?
What?
The devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
I disagree, man. I said I would rather watch professional golf burn and die a slow death than Jay Monahan have control over all of it, which is where we were headed for a while.
So do you think Rolapp continues to make intermingles with the Saudis?
I do. I think that he makes the deal.
You would hope.
Because
the NBC Universal connection is not promising.
So my whole thing with it is he sees it as rife for commercial growth. What's the biggest thing hurting commercial growth of professional golf right now? Especially the PGA Tour.
I think you're making a logical assumption that they're not making. So
I think that's the only logical assumption.
I think the internal silo within the silo that is NBC Universal is very anti-Saudi, very anti-LIV. NBC Universal is the one, after all, that pushes the Golf Channel product, and the Golf Channel product is uniquely against the Saudi PIF LIV thing. So
that's true, but
I'm just saying I don't. I'm just saying I don't. They all run in the same circle, Zach, and you know that.
I'm just saying. Listen, I think this could be a good move.
Okay, and
I'm optimistic.
I hope you're right.
I've had to live with Jay Monahan as my tour commissioner for my entire adult life. I'm excited to see him gone.
Okay, fair Fair. Anyway,
Now, the only thing I don't like about this is that he is going to be the commissioner and the PGA Tour CEO.
and we really want those split up.
I want those split up so bad.
I just don't think you can anymore. I think once you make it a for-profit entity, you can't do that. You know,
But I think it should be.
I just don't think it's possible.
But I think it should be.
Okay, but I don't think it's possible. I don't think that's a better organizational structure, honestly. I don't think so. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Zach, is that about it?
Well, you didn't give your take on it. You're not excited?
I did. I'm just saying I was that's why I was asking those questions. I'm uniquely skeptical. Not unique. I'm uniquely skeptical about this. You know, so yep. I'm skeptical. I'm a very black-pilled individual, and I think everything's going to die in fire and brimstone.
Well, that's a bright way to end the episode. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you back next week. Wait, before we go, Zane, shot time. 2 of them.
Okay, let me mute my screen here real quick. Jerry with a G.
You didn't mute your screen. You just turned off your camera. I don't know if he knows that he did mute himself. I have the ability to mute him.
Oh, I hate this. I hate it.
I have the ability to mute him. I refuse to. On principle. You should know how to work a computer if you're going to be on the show.
I hate this so very much.
You know, Zane kind of reminds me of my mom. He just sings what he's doing at the time.
Where's my shot? There it is.
And
I got it.
I don't know if he knows he's not muted. I'm gonna let him know when he gets back.
All righty, here we go. We are. Oh, I'm gonna need some of the Lord's guidance. All right, here we go.
Wait, did you know that you weren't muted that entire time?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did know I wasn't muted.
Okay.
I wanted you guys to hear my suffering. So I have a Novocaine shot glass, numbing soon.
Novocaine.
It's that movie that came out with that guy from.
Do you think it was good?
Never saw it.
Why do you have the shot glass?
It's just something they were giving out at like a brewery, and I was like, okay, okay. I do want to see it because he's pretty good. He's a pretty good actor. Anyway, here we go. Ready? So
what is that? What are you drinking? What's the shot?
We're doing rum. Of course, it could just be water in the rum thing. No, there's no way I could do that. There's got the thing on top.
It'd be messy. You could still do it, but it would be messy. All right. 1 of 2.
1, 2, 3, go.
There we go. That's the face I wanted to see tonight.
Dude.
All right, 1 more and you're done.
For those of you that can't see, I'm using the cheapest rum ever.
McCormick.
Project of the Virgin Islands since 1856. Bleh. 1856 doesn't taste so good. I don't like that year. Ugh. I don't even know how old this rum is. How do you tell?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't drink rum.
Well,
all right, Zane. 1 more and you're done.
Oh. Do I have to?
Yeah, you got to, man. You made the bet. You got to lie in it.
Why do I have to?
Oh,
boy.
I'm really out of bounds.
I'm
At the
gonna yak.
Really Sports Podcast Network, I tell you what, okay? We pay off our debts, okay?
We do,
I
know.
You make a bet, you lose, you got to drink. It's just how it goes, okay?
I know. Hold on. Let me set that down. Okay. Just don't want to knock it over whenever I drink this. All right, here we go. There's a second one.
How much water is in that?
0.
Okay.
You saw me pour it. What do you mean?
I wasn't paying attention.
I poured it in front of the camera again.
Okay. Let's hammer this baby.
Dude, I don't think I can. Can I stop?
No.
Please?
Do it.
Don't hurt me.
Do it.
I love my mom.
watching. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the Travelers Championship.